there are lots of great startups that have emerged over the last several years. They've done some absolutely wonderful work. But then with the changing times, with the pandemic and so on and so forth, I think they are also looking to pivot. They're looking for help. They're looking to do different things just to kind of continue their trajectory, continue to grow. So they are probably the ones that we should be helping the most, because they will be the success stories that have come out of the economic conditions, and they will be the role models for several other startups. So letting them fail is not something that we can look out as an ecosystem. So I think it's important for us to do that. Now the question becomes, do these startups think that they need help? You know, it's always a tricky question, because they think they have already begun to now go on their own, build on their own, make up their own minds, and so on and so forth. But if I were betting on a good entrepreneur would always look for help from the outside, wherever it is coming from. And if it's something that is coming from a very credible organization, a good set of mentors who are well-intentioned, well-knowledged, and so on and so forth, I think the startups should grab it with both their hands. And therefore, I feel even if it's growth stage startups, they have to look out for help, and there's plenty of that available, and they should take it and really continue to make great progress and become the role models for the rest of the ecosystem. In terms of mentoring, again, going back to my days as an entrepreneur, I felt that I changed my viewpoints about mentoring over a period of time. So earlier on, there was always this concern that the market that I was in, the technology I was building, the kind of team that I was assembling, and the vision that I had, no one can relate to it. And therefore, I felt my problems were my problems alone, and only I can solve them. So the ability for you to be take help from outside is not necessarily there in a lot of entrepreneurs. But as you begin to mature as an entrepreneur, you also begin to understand that you don't know a lot of things. And you are now open to the idea of taking in mentoring, taking in help, taking in expert advice from outside. And you're happy to do that because you know that you don't know everything that there is to be known. But as you continue to mature even more in your mentoring journey, you begin to understand that you don't know that there are so many things that you don't know. As in, there are lots of things that you don't know that you don't know. And therefore, you feel that help will come from various different places. And these people are there. They are well-intentioned. They look to actually be there to help you in this journey. Yes, it may be true that they don't come from the same space. They don't understand the technology that you're building. They don't understand the markets that you're playing in, and so on and so forth. But that's okay. In fact, the pure essence of entrepreneurship is the same wherever it may be. Be it in a tech startup, maybe a social startup, maybe medium, small, medium, macro, small, medium industries. It doesn't matter. All of them are operating to the same set of principles. And so getting that kind of objective, getting that very pointed feedback from people outside of you is absolutely important wherever you are in your journey. So mentors have a place. It's the maturity of the entrepreneurs to absorb that advice, that guidance, and that well-intentioned feedback to actually make themselves better as they go along. Because entrepreneur journey is fraught with risks. fraught with ups and downs. And if you don't have some people that are, friend, philosopher, guide, then you're bound to feel that, yeah, it's going to be very difficult for you to make progress and be a successful entrepreneur.